What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Higher Purpose Podcast, episode 6. I'm Chris Wertman.
I'm Brandon Petta, and our guest today is the one and only Tyler Hammet.
How are we doing today, Tyler?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, fellas. Thank you for having me. It's a blessing and a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We're hyped to have you. And first, I just wanted to announce that the new Legacy Fitness Club has just opened up. Our address is 3637 Carmen Road. Hours of operation are going to be 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 6 to 7 on Fridays, and then 7 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. So if you're looking for a new gym, you want to check out the freshest, nicest gym in the area, come stop by, give me a visit, and I'd be more than happy to show you around, set you up. We have all brand new equipment here. The culture's unmatched. The vibes are amazing. So feel free, come on down, and I'll be happy to take care of you.
Let's go. Legacy 2.0 is the real deal, baby. All right, back to the pod. Sorry, as we digress, Ty. But we have Tyler Hammet. Like I said, Ty is my guy. He is my so Ty pretty much was my mentor. I was thinking about this too, Ty. Literally around this time last year was when I started at Metabolic, as an intern. And that's where I met Ty. Yeah, bro, December last year. Ty was the one who trained me. He was my mentor. He took me under his wing, and he was really the first person to really introduce me to fitness and to training, and I learned so much from him. And honestly, Ty, I want to tell you, bro, I'm genuinely so grateful that we got paired up together, at Metabolic, more so than anyone else. It was match made in heaven. This man and me, he taught me so much about training, but even more so, I think that we learned over time how similar our values and morals are when it comes to life in general. But honestly, we have such similar philosophies when it comes to overall health. And our mindset, and just an incredible guy, super talented and smart. And I'm just so thankful that I was under your wing, my friend.
Well, let me just say thank you, man. I appreciate it. You're about to make me start crying. Don't do this to me, B. No, honestly, man, it was, I can't believe that it's actually been this long. It's actually been a whole year since, but yeah, it was, I could just tell, from the moment I mentioned the thirst, the lust that you had to get better, to want to train clients and want to generally help people, not just get into it for, whatever your own personal reasons are, getting into the fitness industry. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure to meet you back then. And I'm still, happy to be in your circle now and continue to grow as we do each day. So thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, Tyler, tell me a little bit about your journey, what got you into coaching and where have you been and what are you doing now?
For sure. So, I mean, as far as basically just athletics in general, let me just preface it. I'm 7 feet tall. So I always was huge, obviously a basketball player growing up. I was always the tall kid. Wasn't always in shape and, coordinated and such, but always super interested in sports and athletics. So, I started playing basketball, and I think what really got me so I started really getting serious about basketball probably my junior year of high school, and really just wanted to be the best athlete I could be, generally speaking. I wanted to, have the highest level of performance, jump my highest, run the fastest. And that's really where I got invested in and dove into strength training, focusing on, proper, mobility, making sure that I'm able to perform at the level I want to reach. Because my dream, like most people who play basketball, is to go to NBA. So that being said, I went and played college basketball down at Malloy College in Long Island after high school. And then I played a year of pro basketball over in Germany. And then after that, I was going to continue my process of playing, and my body was like, you need some time off. You need to relax a little bit. I think in hindsight now, I can see the training modalities, the lack of rest, so many different things that I used to do to my body, and the mindset that I took into training is what actually caused me to caused my body to get to the point of which it was at. And along coupled with, I have a pretty substantial leg length differential. So I had to deal with back problems and such up the chain. But what my own personal problems did, and we all have them, so I don't use it as an excuse, but it forced me to learn more about myself and learn more about the human body and how you should be training, your recovery, your nutrition, so many things as a young athlete that we're not taught. We're taught go in the weight room and die and basically bury yourself, work as hard as you can. If you're sore, if you're in pain, if you're it doesn't matter. You just keep going. Like, I think that mindset to a certain extent, yes, having intense sessions is definitely beneficial for athletes and for people in general to see change. But there's obviously, a varying level to which we should take it to. So I say all that to say, once my basketball career was over, I dove right into it. I was already studying up on my NASM in the meantime while I was working and training to go back overseas. I was training a couple of my friends here and there. And then, I dove right in, hopped into a group training for 5 years where I met Brandon at Metabolic. And
5 years.
That was it. From there, it was history. What was that?
5 years at Metabolic?
Yeah. So I was at Metabolic for just short of 5 years. So Metabolic is, for people who don't know, is it's a strength training boutique fitness gym in upstate New York, and it's a group training. So I did that for 5 years, and then transitioned recently this past May into running my own business, Nourish With Ty, right here. So
Nourish.
the big Nourish is what they call them. But so hopped into there and was business has been, as you guys know, entrepreneurship and business has been a roller coaster since, but I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be able to continue to live my passion, to be able to help others, and to be able to bestow upon other people like the knowledge that I've been able to, gain and accrue through athletic sports and just working with hundreds, not thousands of people now at this point. And just be able to relay that to the masses, because I truly believe that, if we have the proper knowledge, the proper tools, like, we are able to build a lifestyle and a life and able to nourish ourselves for every season of life. So.
Ty, that's an incredible journey, my friend. And I know, so you were talking about with your philosophies when it does come to training, but I want to ask, when it comes to living a healthy life overall, do you think it's just training that makes someone live this high quality, healthy life? Or what are the aspects that you think play a major role and a huge part of someone living an overall healthy lifestyle, and so that they can nourish themselves?
Yeah, for sure. So honestly, at the whole premise of nourishing yourself, and when working with clients, I have 4 pillars in which we like to make sure we're staying aligned with, which make sure we're focusing our goals upon. And those are nutrition, making sure we're focusing on proper nutrition, our proper movement. So training, movement of your body, also is encompassed in there. Proper healthy habits to make sure we're forming habits to make sure we are able to stay consistent over time. And from there, last but not least, honestly, this might even be the most important, but is our mindfulness, and make sure we are paying attention to not only our mental health, but our gratitude, focusing on not everything that it is just simply in our physical capability, in our physical world, but also what's in between our ears as well. So, basing up our nutrition upon those 4 pillars and making sure that we are, giving to each of those buckets every single day allows us to stay successful over the long term. What I always kind of refer to, or what I compare it to, is like the 4 wheels on a car, right? If one of those isn't, operating at its best, you're still going to be able to go, the car's still going to go to some extent. Now, if 2 of them get like that, we might have a different story. But if you have, maybe just one that's not operating at its highest level, the car will still be able to move and travel, but you're going to go at a much slower pace, and you're not going to reach your destination, or you may end up, falling off even a little bit more. So just making sure that we're able to keep everything in balance, and noticing also that this isn't a all or nothing kind of mindset.
Yeah, man, 100%. And what is some of the ways that you do incorporate mindfulness practices like for your clients, or how do you suggest them to go about that and incorporate it in their daily life?
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of mindfulness, two things that generally like stick out to me the most is for sure is just the actual practice of gratitude. Um, Man, and it seems, I think when we talk about gratitude, a lot of the times I feel that like people can get a notion that it seems like it's something that's like fake or something that's like kind of corny, but I mean, man, it's serious. If there's anything that I've seen, I've been able to see with my own eyes and learn from, getting out of, small Albany, upstate New York, and when you go to bigger cities, especially too, and see where there's more people gathered around, you're able to. There's a comparison factor, right? The same as if you went to New York City, you see the difference in just wealth, the difference in ability, and the difference that people can take into their everyday life. Meaning, I may be so stressed out and, worried about, oh, I got to do this post today and do this email or train this person. Man, I drive past people all the time that are standing on the corner and are begging just for money to live, are begging just for food to survive. Veterans, people who are just way less fortunate, than I was myself. And it's so easy, I feel, to get caught up in our everyday life of like, all the stresses that our stresses are relative to our situation. But I think when we're able to take a moment, step back, be grateful for what we have, you can change your mindset like in the click of a dime. You know what I mean? I have a house over my head. I have a car sitting in the driveway. That's so much more than so many other people. You know what I mean?
Dude, hitting the nail on the head, man. I'm a huge, like, I love Tony Robbins, so I don't know.
Yo, I was gonna bring that up because
Yeah.
Ty does too.
Oh, man.
I attended a virtual seminar last summer, so about a year and a half ago now, and he talked about like practicing gratitude first thing when you wake up, and it's priming your brain for the day. And it's something that I started to implement. So like first things first, like right when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking like thoughts of like even the simplest things. Like people complain about going to the gym, but I'm like, I'm so grateful that I have a chance to work out today. I'm so grateful that like I have my health, I can walk, I have just even the smallest of things. And it helped to like start my day on a really high note. And I noticed that because usually we wake up stressed. It's like, oh my God, I get back to these emails, DMs, like text, but it would always like start me in this like peaceful, calm state. And then another thing too is like with starting in growing legacy, like doing this business, and like these past probably 5 months of my life have never been crazier. Like there's times where I break down and cry. Like it happens all the time. And I do a lot of work with people one-on-one, and I just know like some practicing gratitude got me through so many like hard days where it'd be like I'd be in a piss poor mood, and it's like, why am I in a bad mood? Like I would literally take control of my state, think about things I'm grateful for, and it's like I literally have everything that I could have ever asked for. So it's like, stop being in a bad mood, like be happy. And it's like people, I call it rewiring your thoughts and like perspective on things. But I don't care how bad things really seem, or like we can always like reshape our thoughts and make and practice gratitude, and it can literally change your entire life.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. Like this is like, and again, like think of like, what do most people get stressed about? I feel like generally speaking, at least on like, people like in our industry, it's like business, right? Or it's like having to work out or trying to figure out like what we have to eat in order to like hit our goals, or like things of that nature, right? The way I look at it is I say, okay, like that's what's really stressing ourselves. That's what's really stressing us out, right? Like, let's take a step back for a second. You have 2 legs. You have 2 arms. You have a heart that works correctly. Your brain works well. Like you have the ability to go to a gym. Right. There's so many like, oh man. And I think it's because we subjectify it to everyone else and we compare ourselves right to everyone else that's around us. So when we're on Instagram and in the social media world, or if we're in the gym and fitness industry, like we're comparing ourselves to other people who are in that, within like that bubble. But I think when you can step back and look, you're like, oh my goodness, like I can move my body today. I'm so thankful and grateful that I can go to the gym, that I can challenge myself.
Privilege. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege to be able to go to the grocery store and be able to pick what you want to eat. Right. Just even that, like there's so many different things. I feel like when you really sit and think about it, and I can look back personally within myself and think of times when I was stressed or I was really, say in a bad mood from, generally speaking for me, it's usually something with work. And I'm just like, man, but like you have a career, you have a job, you have a passion, you have something that's driving you every day and you have a goal to reach. There's so many people that don't even have that basic, standpoint within them. So yeah, no, I 100% agree. And I love that, you're a huge proponent of Tony. And if quick shout out to Tony, if anybody's listened to this and they have not done any self-development or inner work, take any and absolutely listen to anything from Tony Robbins. Hey, awaken the giant within. There we go. And it will it will help to change your life 100%.
Ty, we used to always do when I was first starting as the coach at Metabolic. Me and Ty used to always say, "Change your state, change your life." I was constantly like, if I was like nervous, like to teach in front of like the first class, because it's like you're one coach, like, especially as a new coach in the fitness world, 35 people. It was nerve-wracking, man, for some of my first classes. So me and Ty used to always say, "Change your state, change your life." I used to hit like go on the jump rope before classes to hype myself up to get going. And one thing you guys will love, my at home, I have a little trampoline at home, and I've been like before like a call or doing something like to get myself ready to go. I've been jumping on the trampoline. Tony does that right before his seminars, and it's just like it's so true, man. It's incredible. Movement is energy. It changes your body leads your emotions, as he says, man. So
movement really is energy. I 100% agree. And that's why I made movement one of my main pillars, because as far as obviously like what I do for a living is I'm a nutrition coach and personal trainer and yoga teacher too. But that being said, it's all different forms of movement. Exercise is movement. Training is a form of movement in general. I think to fully answer your question too, Chris, like as far as or Brandon, one of you guys asked me, but as far as like in terms of like the mindfulness, also too, and just as something as a practice, and I know you guys do this also as well, is meditation. Meditation, especially, I feel like as a male, and I'm not subjectifying this, sexually. The reason I say it is I feel that as men, we are not taught how to deal with our anger, our emotions, like at all. I feel like realistically, a lot growing up, we're just kind of, cold world, tough. You got to figure it out. You don't talk about it. You swallow it. You compartmentalize it and keep moving. But taking the time to meditate to help yourself de-stress from the situation, and really get in tune with just who you are and who your being is, and focusing on your breath and your intent and what you want to accomplish. You can meditate on anything, and it's a small practice. Currently right now, I do it for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. Because like you said, Chris, starting the day off with gratitude and, feeling good going into your day, like you need that. I immediately, as soon as I wake up, will start thinking about my business, right? Just like you guys do. So it's like I need that time, that clarity to refocus. And then this is something I have my clients do as well. Try to do 10 in the morning and then 10 at night to get you focused going into the nighttime, to help with a proper sleep pattern, and to also institute some good sleep hygiene. Many people, especially with the bringing about of cell phones, obviously, and social media, have horrible sleep patterns because they're on blue lights for, until 1 or 2 in the morning, which affects your sleep patterns and all that. But getting back to what I was saying, as far as meditation goes, like it's such a phenomenal tool in order for you to be able to properly control your emotions and learn how to just be better connected to yourself. Because I feel as a society, when we look for something to help fix us or to deal with the pain or to therapy is something that a lot of people try to demonize. Or if we don't go that route, it's alcohol, or people depend on alcohol to try to deal with stuff. So meditation, man, you don't need drugs, just meditate. I'm telling you.
Bro, 1,000,000%, man. I love, obviously, Ty, we've had the conversation about meditation, man. And I use it, dude. I love it as a tool for myself. And there is never one time I've ever meditated when I've regretted it. Not one time in my life. There's literally only a handful of things that I've done in my life that I can say I don't think I've ever regretted ever doing them. It's like meditation, yoga, reading. Those three things right there, I don't know if I've ever come out of those saying like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Like not even one time.
Yeah,
And dude, it's just like for me, sometimes like when I'm moving quickly and I'm like reacting to things or acting impulsively, that's the time to use it that I know I need to use it more time than ever. And like sometimes I'll be like quick to be like, oh, I need like this. I'm gonna need to get another cup of coffee so that I can do all these things. And I'm like, you know what? If I like stop myself and pause for a second and take a deep breath, I'm like, I actually need the exact opposite right now. And I need to slow things down. And I'll do the 10-minute meditation as well. And it's just like you are a brand new person after, so much calmer, seeing things so much clearer. This is something that I can't like stress enough that I really wish people, everyone would utilize and take the time to see how incredible it is and truly life-changing meditation is. It's unbelievable, man.
I agree 100%. I think and like what you said, like on the same notion of like, you have a lot of things to do. So you're like, oh, I need to drink some caffeine so I can hurry up and get all these things done. I think what meditation, I feel like to be successful, you want to move fast, but not be in a hurry. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I like
Like
that. I like
you
that.
want to be progressing consistently, what you always want to see progress and moving forward, right? But you don't want to feel like you're rushing through everything, right? If the example I use like I use with my clients is like when you're meeting new people, right? Like if there was a room of I don't know, say 30 people, you don't want to, you're not gonna like go around the room and say, hey, nice to meet you. My name's Tyler. Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Tyler. You'll get nothing back, right? You won't receive anything in the end from it.
Yeah.
But if you actually made these like quality, exemplary, like points of communication and interaction with that person, it'll mean so much more in the long run, and you will gain so much more from it in the long run. So to be able to slow down, actually, in my opinion, is a huge tool that so many of us underutilize because as a society, right, we're caught up, especially living in the US with a 6 or 7 day work week. For most people, you're always going. There's no time to slow, but that's what our brain needs. Like we're not meant to be stimulated 24/7, 365 by caffeine and a cell phone. It's as humans, we're not. So
Dude,
So true.
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
brother. I couldn't agree more, man. And actually I wanted to ask also about, so you did say that you do yoga, like you are teaching some yoga on the side. Dude, I love yoga as well. I really try to incorporate it. And I started doing a lot, especially last year during Corona when I was locked in my house for 10 days there and I was doing it every day. But so I wanted to ask you, man, like what's your process? Like, how did you go about learning to teach yoga? What are the different types of yoga too? Because I know there's different types, and how did you decide to choose the one that you did? And if you could elaborate on that, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. So I've had my certification now for a few months. I actually received it by doing the 200-hour course. So there's a 200 and then there's a 500. 500 is you want to be like mastery level, and then you can teach the course to other people. There's a lot of other things that come along with it too, basically, but that's, generally speaking, the baseline of it. What got me into it was I used to be someone who, again, when I was playing basketball and huge in athletics, like I I stretched, but only out of necessity because I had injury. If you think about it from a prehab standpoint, why wouldn't you just do it and then you don't get injured and then you feel great all the time? So that didn't happen at a young age. So as I got older and things didn't feel great, I needed to do more mobility. I started off doing mobility about once or twice a week, and then I was doing it about 6 times a week. And I was like, I really love this. And I would do yoga kind of like here and there, like throw it in with it. Mobility and yoga are two separate things too. I do want to clarify that. But yeah, really what got me into it is just like, I love, like you said, like I love how I felt after. So I would go to a hot vinyasa yoga, which is also what I'm certified in. Hot vinyasa, which is generally speaking where there's a hot studio, can be like 90 degrees, 85, 90, usually 90 degrees or so and more. Usually about 85 or more, I'd say actually. But yeah, I loved how I felt every single time when I did it. And the more consistently I did it, I felt like my posture felt better. I was standing up taller. I felt good moving on my day-to-day basis. I was recovering better from my workouts, you know, getting the lactic acid out, just and motion in general. It just, you feel better once you move. Maybe I got a little taller, who knows? I'm not sure, man. But like it really became a passion of mine. And from there I was like, well, this is something I would like to teach other people. And the way I felt, as I was always like, if people see me doing it when I walk in and I don't even fit through the doorway, right? Like someone who's so big, like if he can move his body in this way, then they can definitely do it. You know what I mean? So for me, it was another avenue to be able to, you know, within the space, the fitness, you know, space, but to be able to just help people and inspire others to want more, you know, for their own health. So yeah, so I got certified by Michelle Pollard up at Studio Hot 4 Yoga in upstate New York. She's absolutely amazing. And yeah, then from there, I've just been just riding the wave and enjoying it. As far as types of yoga, I cannot name all of them simply because there's like hundreds of types of yoga. But yeah, I chose this one because I love hot yoga. And I also love the best part about vinyasa yoga specifically is it's not just doing moves randomly. Like there's a progression for like the way in which I have like a format for which I set up my classes, and there's a progression. So you're not just hopping into something that's extremely tough on your joints and you're not properly warmed up. Same as you would with a workout with a one-on-one client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I love it, man. I pretty much am strictly working with Aditi Shah on Peloton. Shout out Aditi Shah's classes or slow flow classes. Dude, I did also want to transition, and I was gonna bring this up with because I knew you both loved Tony Robbins, and I was gonna bring that up, dude. But Ty, I really want to know, and I also saw your stuff about Simon Sinek, and I wanted to ask you, who has been some of the most influential people that you may or may not have ever met in your entire life, but people that have been super influential that you've loved learning from, whether in the fitness industry or just honestly overall life and mindset that have contributed and played a major part? Because I know me and Chris have a ton of different mentors and people that we look up to and are trying to learn from each and every day, man. So I'd love to hear some of the people that have played key factors in your life.
For sure. I think starting, say, like more so like out of the fitness space, and then I'll move into fitness space from there. Shaquille O'Neal was always my my role model, my like everything growing up, just simply because of what he could do on the court. He was so dominant. I mean, nobody could guard him, you know. So Shaq was, and height wise, being 7 foot, like I've been tall my whole life. So like I to some point it's kind of like lonely because there's stuff I deal with on a day-to-day basis you guys wouldn't even think of.
Sure.
It's just you're an oddity a little bit. You live in a world that's not built for you. So that being said, but yeah, more so for that, but also as I've gotten older, I would say Shaq even still so more. And the reason being is because he's such a smart businessman. He's made hundreds of investments and owns so many companies that you wouldn't even like know, or you wouldn't even like think of. But if you just open your eyes, you see he's kind of in everything. He has a little bit of hand in everything, in sponsorships and deals and all that. So as a businessman, in the way he takes care of his family, his father passed away, and he kind of told me, you know, it's your responsibility to take care of the family now. And he obviously has the financial means to do so. And that to me, man, I mean, like that's what drives me. I didn't get to the NBA, but I got to, playing professional basketball, which was the dream, right? To get paid to play hoop. And for me, just to be able to have family and to be able to take care of your family, that's what makes it all like important to me. Like when I would get tired or get super fatigued and needed, something to help me keep going, excuse me, I just thought about my family. Like I don't do it for me. I got everything I ever need. I'm good with the simple stuff. Good food. Let me work out and just help people. I don't need much else. I don't need flashy cars and all that. I like to travel. But yeah, so I'd say more so on that side, and that's why Shaq is definitely for that. But as far as like in the fitness industry and moving into there, I would definitely, I have to say, and start off with my buddy Adam Badger of Badger Strength. He's actually, in upstate New York as well. He's definitely a role model of mine. Simply, he's been running his own business for, over, I think 5 years now. And, you have to respect people that are able to, take it out and do it on their own. And you guys know, as you running your own business is like 100% different than having, being in a corporation and, that comfortability that comes with that. It is way different from that. So, yeah, I mean, and I think more, bigger names and stuff within the fitness industry that, people can respond more, like a Cody McBroom, very intelligent guy. I love his content, his podcast, and, just his approach to training, very thorough. Jordan Syatt is obviously one, we're in a group together with him in the way in which he's able to connect with people. I really admire that. And I feel like that's why he is so successful to the level he is. And as far as other people in the fitness industry, I don't have any other ones that like kind of come offhand like right now. I'm sure if we like, bounce ones, I'd be like, oh yeah, them too. But I would say those are definitely main ones that like kind of stick out to me as far as like, inspiration. But I also feel too, like I find inspiration, from people who aren't, big stars or people who aren't, you know what I mean? Just like, we live around heroes every day, man. The people that are seen as, stars and or celebrities or famous or whatever, like that stuff's cool and all that for like what they do and they're masters at what they do. But I mean, if 2020 showed me anything, I mean, every nurse is a hero, every doctor is a hero, every person that's in there trying to save someone else's life, So again, in terms of inspiration, I think you can find it anywhere. And that's why I think when people are like, I don't feel motivated to do this, so I don't feel, I mean, it's just like, well, motivation's bullshit. Motivation can be here for 30 seconds and gone in the next two. Like it's gone. It's discipline and being able to find the light within the darkness in every situation.
Absolutely.
Dude, that was a phenomenal answer, man. And I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's heroes all around us. And that's the whole purpose of what we're doing, right? Is we want to make an impact. And I think it's so important for people to see people that you grew up with and people that you're surrounded with on a daily basis, really living true to themselves and trying to, and just seeing, because it's so powerful to see that if someone you're close with or someone in your local community, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Because sometimes I feel like we're so far removed from the celebrities that you think that they were just born this naturally and gifted this way. And that's why me and Billy Floyd, we talk about all the time too. We love hearing the failures of those celebrities and of those people that made it, because everyone just thinks it was this linear path and they were just naturally talented. Right. And you only see the highlights nowadays. You don't see when they got kicked out, when their businesses failed, when they got denied the role in the part, and when they were homeless, scrounging for quarters. Like there's just like, we don't see that part, and people need to see that, man, so that they can believe that it's possible.
I was listening to a speech the other day. I didn't even know this, but Walt Disney, I think, bankruptcy 3 times, and it was on the verge of committing suicide because he literally like was under. He was like belly up, and now look at Disney. Disney's like the biggest company in.
Yep.
It's up there.
Disney, in order to like start the park and like get like that initial like investment stuff, he pitched to over like 300 people.
No way.
Think about that. 300. Like most people are quitting after 3.
Sure.
There were 300 different financial like investors or like banks he went and talked to. And I think it was like, you could look this up, but it's like the 306th one or something. And that was the one.
Yeah.
So I think like that right there, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that. Like that right there goes to show like, look, man, like even I mean, and Disney is like, forget a celebrity, like every single person in the world knows what Disney is. You know what I mean? Unless you're in like maybe a third world foreign country, and like 300, like that is crazy to me. Yeah, like it is like, I agree. Like the path is not linear, man. It's not at all. And a lot of times these people who we see and who we put on the pedestal of being great, it was like, cause they were at nothing. They were at their lowest, and they had to make a change in order to be what they are now, you know?
Dude, absolutely, man. And Ty, I don't want to take up too much of your time, bro, but I do have just a couple kind
Take
of.
up as much of time as you need. I got all the time that you need.
Oh man, dude. I did want to ask you just a couple questions at the end here. What is some of the? I'll start off with the negative. I want to end up on the positive, but what's some of like the worst advice you've ever received when it comes to anything like health, training, mindset? Some of the worst advice that you've ever received that you wouldn't want anyone to fall into the trap of falling. It might be, you have to think about it for a second. I know, but I'm curious.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, I like that. So worst advice, I'm sure as I talk about it, my mind will just get going. Oh, I mean, something as generic as like every time you go, oh, no days off.
No days off.
Just that right there.
Yep,
Just
yep.
that, the whole notion of no days off, no sleep, and all of that. And again, like I know you guys can on that same notion, you can be like congruent with it and understand like what they are trying to allow people to perceive with it. But like as far as like training and your actual health goals and your mental health, you need to have a day off. You need to rest. And rest doesn't mean you have to do absolutely nothing and just lay on the couch and zone out. But sometimes it does mean that. But you can also find rest in motion. You know what I mean? You can find rest in doing things that aren't beating yourself down with hundreds of pounds in the weight room, or it doesn't even have to be things that are physical. There's other ways to find, I think mental rest for sure. So I think that's for one. I mean, as far as like nutrition goes, oh man, speaking candidly, I was always told carbs are horrible, carbs are bad. That's why I think, generally speaking, pick whatever diet allows you to stay the most consistent, but I don't agree very much so like with keto. I think it forms very extremist type of ways of eating. And in general, I mean, most people, I think if I found a group of 100 people, probably about 99 of them like carbs. So to say like, and tell people that like you can't eat carbs, or like carbs are the enemy, or any food group, I guess for that matter, like trying to completely obliterate a whole food group and validate that as like, that's why you're not being successful. So, a lot of like these extremist ways of like trying to diet and get people to see results, lose 20 pounds in 30 days. Or, I mean, what else do we got? See, I was like, when you get me thinking, it's gonna go. The tummy belly creams, waist trainers, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I want to put this on record and say it on a podcast. I'm gonna use this platform right here to do so. Okay. A waist trainer is doing absolutely nothing but compressing your organs of your abdomen. So all the ladies that are out here doing hip thrusts and RDLs with waist trainers on, please take that shit off. You are hurting yourself, you're ruining your health, and you're compressing your insides. That is literally all you're doing. You're not going to lose weight faster. You're going to sweat a little more. So there's that. Yeah. And it just, as far as like worst advice goes, I think those are like, just like those, that's not advice specifically, I guess, but like, yeah, just thinking that like you can't do anything, man, and having a limited mindset. because if you have the belief you can, you just got to take action.
Yeah, dude, those are great answers. I'm gonna just hit it from the other side. And what's the best advice to finish it off on the positive always?
Best advice I would say, okay. Believe in yourself. If you really want to go do something, burn your bridges and hop in. And okay. And then I think the best one, and this is one especially within the past, say probably past like 2-3 years, I've really tried to like grind into my own gears and put into my head, is that it's not about the destination. It's not about the end goal. Life in general it's about the process. It's not, and I'm not saying like, you know, trust in the process. Like, yeah, I do believe in that, but it's doing, enjoying and accomplishing the things you do on a daily basis. Like, it's not like I'm doing all this so I can get to this point and then I can like, just like relax. Like, it's like, no, you have to learn to enjoy the process within that 24 hours every single day for the rest of your life, and find what allows you to do that. Because if you don't, you're going to be miserable and it's not going to change. Like, you have to take action. Like, you are the creator of your own destiny. You have control of your life. If you want to do something, you have to be the one to take action. There's no one saving you. There's no one coming to help you do whatever it is you want to do, whether it's start a business, whether it's start your nutrition plan, whether you want to start working out. No one is going to do it for you. Like, people will help you, but at the end of the day, for example, as a nutrition coach, right, I can give you all the tools and all the knowledge I have, but I am physically not the one grabbing the fork and putting the food in my mouth. Or I can even give you grocery lists and, you know, food lists, recipes and all that, but I don't have control of your money to go to the store. You know what I mean? So just realizing that you are in complete control of your future.
Mm-hmm. Yo, dude, that was phenomenal, brother. I love those. I love everything you just had to say there, man. You want to give us what the takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaways here are really what you just said there, hitting the nails on the head. I'm trying to recap that in my mind.
I know there was a lot.
We got through a lot there. I do like that the no days off, the no sleep mentality isn't good. First of all, I'm gonna reiterate that because that's like the lifestyle I've been on now for a little while, and trust me, it doesn't feel good. I like controlling your thoughts, so practicing meditation, yoga, I think is a big thing. So if you're not doing that right now, that's definitely something to look into. Tyler, you can hit him up on Instagram because I'm sure he could help you out with that. If not, grab a book off the shelf. Tony Robbins is the guy. Change your state, change your life, and you are the writer to your own story. So you have everything that you need. You control your story. You have the pen, you're holding it, and get out there and write the best one that you can, because we only get one of them.
Let's go. That was a phenomenal ending, my friend. And Ty, where can people find you, bro? I missed that.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, you can find me directly on my website. It is Nourish With Ty. So NOURISH with Ty, no spaces, no nothing. Instagram, T Hammet _20 is my personal page, which I use generally speaking most of the time, and my business page as well, which is just Nourish With Ty. You can check me out there. And soon also I'll give just a little sneak peek, a little peek into the future. I also will have my podcast up and rolling too, Fit on the Fly with Ty, which will be airing soon, and these lovely gentlemen will be on there as well. So yeah, you can check me on all platforms, Facebook. I'm everywhere, basically.
It's an absolute pleasure to talk with you, brother. It's always you're always glowing, my friend. You're always glowing, man. You always put everyone in a better mood after seeing you, and your energy is contagious.
Absolutely, just gonna say that.
Yeah, dude. I'm so thankful to have met you, man. And like I said and started with, it was destiny to be under your wing, guy, and I can't wait to see how our journeys unfold, man. I'm always here for you, and super grateful for you, my friend.
Thank you,
sure, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, brother.
All right.